Once I know and I've had the experience of being, now here's another challenge. Each step has its own challenges, of course. The challenge in knowing is maybe I have to unlearn a lot of the things that I've been told. That's a big challenge. In the being, I'm not used to being on my own. And even if I live on my own, I'll generate noise to be comfortable. I'll switch on the radio. I'll put on my headphones and put on my little gadget to be able to hear things. I'll want to communicate through the telephone or somehow with my friends. So we've not given ourselves that space to be on our own with ourselves. And so this is important. That's the challenge. Making time to be with myself, to be. The challenge in becoming is what I've experienced in meditation. The peace that I am, the love that I am, the joy that I am. Am I able to make it part of my activity through the whole day? Now, this is where the becoming is the challenge. I know this is who I am. I've felt it. I've experienced it. But then, in the busyness of life and the activities and the pressures of the modern world, then I let go of that which is the reality of who I truly am. And so, matching the inner world and the outer world is the challenge of becoming. And now this is where my meditation and my spiritual study might occupy maybe half an hour of my time in the day. But the practice of these things is homework. The study is 1 hour, but the practice is the whole day. And that's something that's totally visible. If I explode, even a little bit, maybe just one bad word I say, well, that's enough. It's not just one, it's the tone, the volume, the way I said it, all of those things. Or maybe it's not even as bad as that. Maybe instead of being peaceful, I get quite agitated because there's too much going on and I can't deal with it. There's too many things happening around me. That's the time when I need to remember I am peace. And so bringing the experiences I'm going through into my life, into my actions, into my behavior, into my relationships is the journey of becoming. And until I've been able to succeed in this, there isn't a transformation. If I sit in a corner on my own and say, I'm really peaceful and loving, well, that's a little bit of a game I'm playing because it's not true. I don't know whether I'm truly peaceful or not. It was fine when I was on my own, just connected with God. But I'll discover how peaceful I am when I'm in the middle of the fray, when I'm in the middle of a traffic jam, when I'm with many others around me. So the becoming is the challenge that we face every single moment of the day. It's not just an examination paper at the end of 6 months or the end of the week. It's an examination paper all the time, every day. I don't know when I'm going to be tested. And so I have to keep my consciousness on the highest level possible. Soul conscious, seeing the other as a soul, so that I'm not impacted by anything negative, either in the atmosphere or anything that's coming to me from another, but I'm able to maintain my own pure, peaceful, loving state of being and share that with others too. And so they actually see the transformation process at work. And then they'll say, this is interesting. Let me find out more. And so in the becoming, there is also then the subject of giving. When others who know me pretty well, who are not just going to listen to words, but they're going to evaluate my behavior, in contact with those people, they'll actually see my transformation, and that is the giving. And they'll say, take me there. I want to find out more about meditation too. But maybe it's not like that. Maybe they just see your transformation and they're happy with it, and they'll support you on your journey, but not necessarily join you. But maybe the word giving is the real key. As a result of becoming full through the connection with the divine, as a result of filling myself, what I need to do now is to be able to share, to be able to give. When I was full of grief and sorrow, if you were to meet me, what would be the story I would relate to you? It would be this long story of all the pain I've been through and all of this. You can't stop yourself. Whatever is in your heart, you share. But if now my sorrow's been removed, and now I've been filled with an abundance of joy, what will I share with you? I'll share some of the same. And so as I go through my transformation, the possibility of giving now opens up. While I myself was very much in need and lacking in so much, it wasn't possible to give. But now, because I've received, I can give. And it's not an announcement, it's just simply demonstrating the being that you are, the becoming that has happened. And so the natural state of that is sharing that love, sharing that light, sharing that company, sharing the happiness. That's it. I just need to be who I've become now. And in a very natural way, that's what I'll do. Maybe my patience has grown. Earlier, I was impatient and short-tempered, short-fused, but now, with meditation, there's a generosity of spirit in which I'll say, it's okay. Things happen in their own time. And if something takes 30 minutes longer or 15 minutes longer, that's also fine. It's okay. I just have a bigger vision rather than a very restrictive, narrow vision that I had earlier. And so the giving happens naturally. It's not something that you have to think about too much, but it'll just carry on continually all the